Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes. There you go. Come up on the screen and everything. How you all doing? It is Sunday the 12th of January 2025. I'm trying to do a show a day. I couldn't do one yesterday, unfortunately, because when I met up with my fellow content creators, we decided it probably wasn't a good idea to tell everyone who was in the room for various reasons, mostly because there's some people who think it's all a big conspiracy that all of us content creators work together to create content and appear on each other's channels and stuff. It's all a conspiracy. Anyway, I'll tell you what's not a conspiracy. Anthony Fisher, Johan, Francis, Phil, Ben, and Jeannie, and Vendetta, and Super Tiny, and Captain are all in the chat. You can join them. You can join them in the chat. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button. Yeah. And wait for about 30 seconds, and then you will be able to join the chat. But no trolling, please. No being a dickhead, because we will mute you, and you'll be able to watch, but you won't be able to do anything about it. You won't be able to leave a chat or leave a comment. So don't do that. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Nigel Farage. I'm sorry, I hate talking about him. He is the gobshite, isn't he? He is just the worst of all possible worlds, is Nigel Farage. He has a face like a bag of mashed unmentionables. He is just horrific in every sense of the word, and yet people gravitate towards him because they feel like he has some charisma, he makes them laugh, and, if someone makes you laugh, or, you feel like you're a friend of theirs, then you're more likely to abide their shittiness. And our country is terrible for abiding the shittiness of Nigel Farage. If you've ever seen the movie Speak No Evil, or seen the remake, also called Speak No Evil, I think the original film in Dutch had a different title, but whatever. The whole movie is about people who are too polite to say anything when you really should say something. And British people, that film really resonated with me, because British people are like that. We don't complain in a restaurant when we should. Now, I don't complain in a restaurant if I've had such a shitty service that I want that restaurant to fail. I just leave, don't tell them, never go back, which is what everyone else does as well. Might leave them a shit review online. But if it's a nice restaurant, had a really good time, except the meal hasn't been up to scratch, or there's been some kind of problem with it, I will always say, and I'll be very polite and nice, and I won't demand free food or anything nonsense like that. I'll just say, look, that wasn't quite what I was expecting, or whatever, because I want them to do better. And you can't do better without a little bit of constructive criticism. And I know what it's like as a content creator, as someone puts stuff out online to the abuse that you sometimes get. This platform is amazing. I was talking yesterday about how little abuse generally we get on this channel. I mean, we do not just stuff where it's middle-aged, middle-class, white man talk, and we also have trans people on, we have gay people on, we have people from different ethnic minorities, different religions, and we don't really get any of that horrific bigotry that you're forced to deal with every day on Twitter, which is why no one uses it anymore. But also Facebook, there's fewer interactions with people on Facebook, because people are just exhausted. They don't want to comment on something in case someone picks a fight with them. And it's exhausting when someone picks a fight with them. And you must have experienced this, where someone just has a pop at you for no reason on YouTube, maybe on Facebook, sorry, that maybe they've misinterpreted what you're saying, or maybe they know what you're saying and they're just disagreeing with it venomously. And, it keeps you awake at night. They're like, why this person who I know and respect in real life, why are they having a pop at me? And it makes people feel bad. That's what social media does, generally speaking. It's like this machine for making people feel bad, which is why me and some other content creators, we try and balance it a little bit. We do our doom and gloom stuff, but we also build Lego stuff. So join me at 6:00 today for the third episode of Build With Me, where we'll be building the middle bit of the globe that's going to go in here. The globe, the antique globe of the world, made of Lego. Commander DJ Burp has entered the chat. Hey, how you doing? So let's go through Nigel Farage's 9 jobs. He is a brand ambassador for direct bullion. He promotes tax-free gold investments for £8,000 an hour. Do you know, I'm not like begging for super chats here or nothing, but seriously, £8,000. Probably get that on this platform over the course of 6 months. So 1 hour, 6 months, same amount of money. Do you like that? How'd you like them apples? TV presenter on GB News. He's paid £2,494 an hour. He hosts a show on the channel, Gammon Box News, GBBs, News for Dickheads. Patriotic dickheads, Graham. Yeah. Third thing he does, he's a public speaker. Delivers speeches at events for £2,179 an hour. So I know I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again. I once spoke at a very prestigious event in America, in California. It was one of these big tech events where they get people from the tech world, influencers, people who've done something interesting along, and they talk about their experiences. I went to talk about my travels because I've traveled. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if I mentioned that I've traveled. I don't know if I ever get my Guinness World Record certificate out that says the fastest time to visit all countries by public surface transport is 4 years and 31 days. Achieved by Graham Hughes of the UK. There you go. And the dates. Definitely the first person to do that. The only one with a certificate so far. Anyway, I turn up in California, and I have to pay for my own flight. I have to pay for my own accommodation. I go to I hire a car in LA and I drive to Palm Springs where this event was being held. And, people weren't there just to see me. I mean, they weren't there to see me at all. I mean, I was just one of the speakers. And it was like a 3-day event, 4-day event, big tech event where people meet up and talk tech things. Yet still, not only was I not paid to give my talk, for which I got a standing ovation, I had to sleep in my hire car the night before with my then girlfriend. We slept in the car in the desert beneath these bloody wind turbines. We found some wind turbines that got parked near because we couldn't afford to stay in any of the hotels in Palm Springs because they all sold out probably because of the conference or something. And it wasn't until after I gave my talk that I discovered that tickets for this event for the whole week or weekend or whatever were $4,000 a pop. But yeah, don't worry about, don't pay the talent, don't pay the content, don't pay the thing that people have come to see, Wow. Wowzers, strousers. So yeah, and this happens a lot. The BBC will ask you to go down, or ask me to go down to London to do an interview about Brexit or travel or something. And I'll be like, okay, how much does it pay? And they'll be like, oh, we don't pay our contributors. It's just you get £100 appearance fee. And I remember doing that in the 90s and getting £100. And now it's 2025. And as far as I'm aware, we're still getting £100. Only here's the thing. When Femi or Zoe or someone that we know goes on TV, they get £100. When Nigel Farage goes on TV, they give him thousands. So not just is he appearing on Question Time every verse end, they pay him. I think. I hear. Allegedly. Just crazy. Is there a way to watch the series you did? Yes, there is, Ben. I can send you a link to my Google Drive and you can watch it on my Google Drive. It's the only way to get rid of the copyright embargo, because if I put even clips of my journey that I filmed myself online, I often get copyright strikes because I'm using footage from the TV show, of me filming myself on my camera, which I bought, with tapes, which I bought for a TV show that I never got paid for. Yeah. Anyway, so this is really smart, what I'm talking about, Nigel Farage. I've got a personal vendetta against the fact that the people on the right get paid shitloads of money, and everyone I know on the left who's creating content is literally burning out, having a nervous breakdown, not dealing with stuff, not being able to afford the rent, having to get a proper job, etc. And there are some very familiar faces that on YouTube and on Twitter and even on the TV that may have to stop doing what they do this year just to pay the fucking rent. So I'm trying to do something about that. I'm trying to create a universal basic income for content creators. And I hope you'll come with me on that journey in over the next few weeks. I'll be letting you know more about it. But as things stand, We are completely reliant on our income from streaming, from videos that we make, and it's up and down. It's up and down. You can have a video that gets 1.5 million views. Not that I've had one of them for a very long time, but I did once, and yeah, it's amazing how little money you get for that. You know, I've entertained 1 million people. How much do you get? Oh, pounds for every person. Pound for every 1,000 people, if you're lucky. Anyway, so where was I? So the third one was public speaker. This is third job. Fourth job for Nigel Farage out of the 9. Personalised video messages on Cameo. He records videos for fans, which works out at £563 an hour. I don't have enough fans to be able to justify that. He represents Clacton as a member of Parliament, for which he gets £28 an hour. I wonder why he doesn't spend much time in Clacton representing his constituency. Economist, contributor, he writes articles or provides commentary, and specific publications and not specific publication details are not in the Mirror article, which I'm going to show you in a minute because it's on the front cover of the Mirror today. A consultancy work, offers political or business advice. The specific clients are not detailed. Podcast or media ventures, produces or appears on audio-visual content. Exact details unclear. So that's him doing his TikToks and things like that, which he will get money for. He's got 1 million followers on TikTok. He will get money for that. He'll do quite well out of it, actually, with that many followers. And then director stroke advisor in private enterprise, holds roles in companies for strategic or advisory purposes. And these jobs have collectively earned him £571,585. Over 500,000 in 6 months. A guy who should be representing his constituents in Clacton. But here's the thing. The constituents in Clacton don't give a... led by donkeys can put up things, that go viral in Clacton saying, your man's not here, he's earning loads of money elsewhere. People in Clacton don't care. Because most people in Clacton don't care about politics. They're just getting on with their lives. And the ones who do care about politics, honestly, Nigel Farage could shit in their mouths and they'd be like, oh yeah, thanks mate, cheers for that. Good job, Nige. You really showed them there. So at last, finally, someone who's telling the truth. And it reminds me of this line. I don't know if it's like from a parable or something. It's just one of these daft memes that you see on the internet. But this one particularly I found resonance with. About the trees voting for the axe because the axe's handle was made of wood, and therefore the axe managed to convince the trees that he was one of them. And that's what Farage is. That's what Trump is. That's what Musk is. And you get a lot of people who are working class, middle class, and they work hard and they sustain some kind of living, and they look up to people like Nigel Farage. And they're like, that's who I, if I could get away with it, that's what I would do. And it's a bit like the fascination with serial killers, with gangsters. If I could get away with that, that's what I'll do. And it sort of taps into other talents. I mean, actual talents, not being a serial killer, but being a great motor racer or tennis player or a great musician. People respect it because they're like, oh my God, you made all this money, you must be successful. I'd love to do what you do. And the thing is, with being a musician, you kind of generally know, unless you're one of those dickheads who goes on X Factor and sings badly in front of everyone, but you kind of know what your musical aptitude is. I mean, if you didn't go to the right school, it's very unlikely that you'll get one of the top jobs in this country. So, they know that those options are not on the table for them. But they'll look at someone like Nigel Farage and they'll be like, that seems obtainable. He has this veneer of obtainability. He's a good lad, isn't he? No, he's not. He's an upper class toff who went to a really expensive private school and worked in the city of London as God knows what, and then he became a career politician, causing trouble and destroying things for everybody else. That fucker took away your right, my right, your kids' rights, my kids' rights to to live and work in any other country in Europe. Not as a bum. I mean, if you stayed there for 6 months and had no means of income, they could deport you. It very rarely happened, but they could deport you back to the UK. But this wasn't the case. I mean, most of the time, people moved around the continent to do work. And it worked really fucking well. It meant like people like me who have certain talents, like video producing, video presenting, could get work across Europe. Now I can't. Farage still can, because he can pay for the work permits. He can be a digital nomad. He can pay for it. He's got the money. Whereas the vast majority of us can't. And so people looking up to him going, that's obtainable. That's something I could do, without needing too much talent. But he does have a talent, which is, he's along with like Trump and Musk, they're just the ultimate con men. They're just the ultimate con artists. They employ all the same linguistic tricks to bring people on board with their bullshit and make them believe it, make them believe the hype. Trump is very good at this. He seems to have fucking dementia, and he's talking about batteries electrocuting sharks and all this kind of nonsense. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because people believe the myth. And it doesn't matter what he says or what he does. They'll never hear a word against him. There's a very similar parallel between people who laud Trump and people who lauded the previous leader of Labour, who I'm not going to mention, but because I don't want to start an argument, but the zeal of the people who thought that person was the answer to all of life's problems versus the actual rhetoric. Because my question to people who idolize, I should say, the previous leader of Labour is like, what did he say? What was his famous line? What was his Gettysburg Address? What was his, we will fight them on the beaches? What was his line? You talk to me about him appearing at Glastonbury and ignoring my big bollocks to Brexit flag. But, what did he say at Glastonbury? Does anybody know? I know what Lincoln said at Gettysburg, because it's been recorded and it's a great fucking speech. What did he say? Anyway, so I to go back to Farage's bullshit and the fact that he's earned over $500,000 from 9 outside jobs in addition to his MP salary. A typical constituent in Clacton would need to work 19 years full time to earn the same amount that Farage earns in 6 months. And Labour candidate Jovan, we like Jovan, he criticised Farage for being out of touch with its constituencies facing a cost of living crisis. But I don't think they care. Most people don't care about politics. They're getting on with their lives. They're playing video games, they're going out, having a beer, seeing their mates, doing their work, watching TV. They're getting on with their lives. And politics, I find it endlessly fascinating, and I'm sure you do too, and that's why you're watching this channel. But at the end of the day, it's a troll, isn't it? Marina and Gemma called the program that for a reason. It is a troll. It is a slog to go through all the shit that's going down and feel like there's not much you can do about it except sort of comment on it from the sidelines. I feel like I'm watching a really, really bad movie, and all I can do is shout at the screen, what the fuck is this? However, the slight difference in that is that the movie can't hear you. But if we make enough noise and we talk about it enough and we use the 6 degrees of separation thing and people pass it on, it might get up to the higher echelons. It might get up to the people who need to see that meme. You never know. So I might send it to them. One of those helpful people who sends messages that says, "Hey, you won't believe what they're saying about you online," and they send it to someone. Please don't do that. If you've ever done that, I'll let off one mistake. Please don't do that. As someone who creates stuff online, it's really, really unhelpful. You get up in the morning, you're like, oh, I don't feel so shit about myself today. I don't feel like the world's biggest C unit. And then someone sends you a message saying, hey, have you seen what this person said? And it says, you are the world's biggest C unit, Graham. And you're like, oh, I am. Okay. Anyway, great podcast, The Troll. It is very good. He didn't earn over $500,000. He got paid over $500,000. Important difference. Yes, Johan. Very good point. Eau de Fromage says, Wayne, serpent oil. You're absolutely right. Evil never dies, i.e. Murdoch. Well, Le Pen died. Le Pen died last week. That was good. There's actually a video of him admitting how much money he was able to grift as an MEP. That wouldn't surprise me. It's the only reason he went into this line of work. It's all he can do. he's not a practical man. You couldn't imagine him fixing a car or building a garden shed or something. He's one of the useless, feckless, upper-class knobheads who we have running everything. You think they can do that? I can do that. I can do that. You know the type, don't you? You've met these people who think they can do everything. And when you start on a job, they're like, oh, well, what you want to do? And give you loads of fucking unsolicited advice. That's another thing. Here's a bit of advice. Don't give people unsolicited advice. If people don't ask for advice, don't give it to them. If they put up a thing on Facebook saying, I need your advice about buying such and such, fucking, by all means, go in, tell them what to buy, tell them what to do, give you advice, fine. But if they just put on Facebook, oh my God, I'm really pissed off about X, Y, Z, don't give them advice. Do not do that. They're just venting. 99 times out of 100, they're just venting. They don't want advice. They don't want to be told what they should have done. And the worst thing that you could possibly do is if someone's really excited about a new thing that they've bought, first of all, unless they tell you how much it costs, don't ask them. But if, you know, they say, I got it at a bargain at 200 quid, please don't write under that, I could have got it for 150. Because it's really unhelpful. Thank you. Thank you. This is a public information service from Graham Hughes. Stop doing that. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying, you know, in everyday life, it's not very helpful. Like, stop debating stuff online. It's pointless debating stuff on Facebook and stuff with people. It's just, there's no point. There's literally no, but you're not going to change their mind. You're just going to upset yourself. Just walk away. Just go, whatever, mate. Just give them a thumb down. Or what I like to do is if they made some like really serious political point and they spent a long time writing it, just do a laughing emoji. That's it. God, really pisses them off. Really pisses them off. All you can do about Farage is wait for his constituents to wake up to him. Says Clacton, well, I did a show about that on Friday. I talked about this. I don't think they will. I think they'll vote for him again. I think there was an election tomorrow. They will vote for him again. They don't care. I mean, we care. We care about this kind of shit. We go on about it. We say this is wrong. Because obviously it's demonstrably wrong. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just doesn't give a shit. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock now, so I'm going to just go quickly over to the newspapers. The you know, these incredibly patriotic people. Oh, that's a very that's a very big Morning Brew. Why are you so big? Go back to normal size, you big weirdo. Oh, it's because it's a new logo. I've updated the coffee cup or the teacup. A little lemon in it. That's actually just the emoji. That's just the emoji for coffee, by the way. It's not like I've drawn that. Anyway, let's stretch this out a little bit. Ooh, we got the Sunday Crimes here, owned by Murdoch, who's a gobshite, and in it, it's got Jeremy Clarkson, who's a gobshite, and he's being a gobshite. Let Trump snap up Greenland and maybe Britain too. So, man of the people, Richard Littlejohn did an article about this the other day saying, please, Daddy Trump, come be our daddy, our Yankee daddy, our Uncle Sam. Come be our uncle, our creepy weirdo Uncle Sam that you wouldn't leave the kids with because he's a bit noncy. Let's have him in charge of our country. Fuck off, Clarkson. No, really. Fuck off, you pretentious, posh wanker. He's another Farage, privately educated wanker who thinks he knows everything about everything, and because he does a bit of self-deprecating humour, like what Farage does. People warm to him and go, "Oh, he's all right. He's all right." He takes the piss out of himself. Yeah, but he's taking the piss out of us a lot more than he's taking the piss out of himself, isn't he? Anyway, so, the Jeremy Clarkson, who made all his fortune by his parents being rich by making Paddington Bears without permission to do so off Michael Bolton or whatever his name was, Michael Bond, who created Paddington Bear. And basically piracy on the high seas, well, with teddy bears, was how his family made their fortune and sent him off to a posh private school where he learned to be the world's biggest twat. Europe's best interrail trips for any age. You used to be able to interrail around Europe for 6 months at a time. You can't do that anymore. 3 months on, 3 months off now for British people, thanks to the Sunday Times and its proprietor, Rupert Murdoch, who's not British, never lived in Britain, really. He never really paid taxes here. Well, he might have lived in Oxford for a little bit, but I don't think he paid taxes back in like the 1920s when he was a young whippersnapper. Because he is just Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns is completely based on Rupert Murdoch in so many ways. Also, Mr. Burns, very old, never dies. But there you go. Pressure grows on Starmer to sack minister. This is about Tulip Siddiq. Because of her links, her family links to the corruption in Bangladesh that led the the president of Bangladesh, to flee the country a few months ago. I don't know. I don't know if it's Tulip Siddiq's fault. You know, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. You tell me in the chat whether you think that she should go. I don't think that she should. Oh, wow. Cathal, thank you very much for the £5, €5, even better. Yeah, we love euros on this show. The more euros, the better. Thank you very much for the €5 super chat there. Great work, Graham. So happy Sunday. Oh, it's happier now. Thanks to you, Cathal. Thank you very much. Yeah, Musk and Cumming in plot to sabotage UK politics. Great. I don't know if the Mail on Sunday is saying this is a good thing. I don't know. As controversial number 10 advisor plans own party. Yeah, fine, mate. Start your own party. Do it. Split the right-wing knobhead vote. Split it 7 ways. Like the goddamn Horcruxes in Harry Potter. Split it 7 ways. And watch them never, ever get power again. Please, please do it. Do it. Do it. Brooke Shields' shock discovery as she woke up from intimate op. So, you know, delving into people's private medical matters there in the Mail, which is kind of normal for them because they're a bunch of fucking weirdos. You know, don't ask if someone, you know, just don't put it on the newspaper. It's a medical thing. Like, unless, I mean, they're trying to spread the word about a particular ailment that we all need to know about and get checked up for in case we get it, and that's slightly different. But that's not the way they're advertising it here. They're making it sound like juicy gossip about some intimate, you know, wink, wink, intimate operation that she had. Woo-hoo! Scandal, sleazy, woo. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There's the Daily Mail. Protect your money from Rachel Reeves's Market Mayhem. This is the Mail on Sunday, which is the same newspaper pretty much as the Mail. I know they have a different editorial team, but it's owned by the same person. It's, you know, the ethos is the same. The same newspaper that said, at last, the true Tory budget for the Liz Truss disastrous mini budget that tanked our economy. But, you know, save us from Rachel Reeves. 9-job Nigel. This is my thing that I was talking about today. Hello. I want to. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. 9-job Nigel. God, he's ugly. Where's me frog? I've got me frog here. Where's me frog? Oh man, I don't have me frog to put over his face. Oh, I'll do this as quickly as possible. Nigel Farage juggles 8 part-time jobs on top of being an MP, with 9 jobs altogether. The side hustle have earned Reform leader $500,000 in less than 6 months. His earnings outside Parliament, which include flogging tax-free gold bullion, mean his 91,346 salary as pound salary as MP for Clacton, Essex is his worst paid job. The self-styled man of the people said, I work more hours a week than most people can even contemplate. But critics says he's not focusing on his constituents. Yeah. There's working and there's working, you know. But tell me more about how you work harder than a firefighter or work harder than a coal miner. Reeves set to wage war on waste as critics circle. Private experts drafted in to find savings as MPs question Chancellor's performance. MPs, any particular Labour MPs at all? But no, it's Conservative MPs. Okay, so Labour, Conservative MPs critical of Labour. Wow, that should be a front page story, shouldn't it? And Inferno rages on. This is the story about poor old California, which is just undergoing the most horrific climate change reality now, the climate reality of it all. But also, I want to bring your attention to this disgusting news headline: Civil Service ends climate of fear trans policy. Civil service will no longer be labelled transphobic for expressing gender-critical transphobic beliefs. So it's a bit like saying, yay, racists aren't going to be called racists anymore for being racist. Freedom of speech, everyone. Freedom to be horrible. Freedom to take away people's rights and dignity. Anyway, IVF miracle powered by AI tech, game-changing new treatment. Another miracle cure in the fucking Sunday Express. So, miracle cure. This thing causes cancer. Princess Di. Every fucking day. And then we've got Wayne Rooney looking ever more like a boxer every day. Rouge your coach. Wayne's new job is training kids. What's the plot? Wasn't that part of a plot point on Ted Lasso? And then we've got independent there. Reeves accused of selling out to China to rescue economy. More criticisms of the government. I mean, you know, the papers were never this critical about the Tories, were they? Well, they never were. They never were. Chancellor was denounced for banning principles in delusional bid to boost growth as ex-Tory leader likens Beijing visit to dealing with 1930s Germany, but she hails £600 million new investment and doubles down on pragmatic cooperation. And then multitasking turns you into a half-wit. Oh, that explains me. Right, back over here. Hit the subscribe. I'm Graham Hughes. You see, that's multitasking. That's multitasking right there. Okay, so what else we got? Farage, Jeremy Clarkson. Yes, indeed. Defecating. Defecating. I think it's defecating. They shit themselves. Did you say crash the economy? Yeah, I did say crash the economy. I said crash the economy. Does anyone sue me for saying crash the economy? Anyone know when the Sunday roast is back? It should be back today. Is it not back today? Is it not back? That's a good thank you for reminding me, because I can throw you over there now, I think, if I just do this. Where am I? Customization. No. Oh, why is it not letting me do the thing? Oh, redirect. I couldn't find the thing. Occupy all shorts. No. Sorry, there's an all shorts video. I'll tell you what, when's that scheduled for? Oh, it's scheduled for the 29th of December, 2024. Sorry, mate. I don't think I can pick that one. That's not the one to pick. No, that mustn't be a Sunday roast. I saw Alex yesterday. Shit, I should have asked him. John, got here. What did I miss? You missed the entire show, mate. Sorry about that. Right, you'll have to watch it on catch up. Daily Express used to have diabetes cured story every month. Yeah, cancer cured, diabetes cured, IVF conquered. James Wood lied about his house burning down. Well, live on the show, we found out on Friday, on the Friday Night Social, that everyone's favourite anti-Semite, Mel Gibson, had his house burnt down while he was recording an interview with Joe Rogan and claiming that climate change is a hoax. I love it when a hoax comes down and burns everything you have. Instead of crashed, how about disastrously collided with? Indeed. Right, so thank you very much for the chat. Thanks for the super chat. I will continue to build my Lego globe of the world. It doesn't look like a Klingon weapon at the moment. So join me and little me there, on the show tonight at 6 o'clock, 6 till 7. We'll be doing Come Build With Me, episode 3, and we'll be cracking on with that and just, chewing the fat, talking about movies and music and politics and whatever you want to talk about. You'll be in the chat, I hope. Join us for that. And until then, I'll say thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.